Have you ever reacted to something in the heat of the moment, only to regret it later? Why do we let our emotions control us, especially when we know better? In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to get swept up in our feelings. But what if we could pause, breathe, and respond more wisely? Imagine a situation where someone cuts you off in traffic. Instead of feeling anger rise within you, what if you could simply observe that feeling, let it pass, and choose a calm response instead? This is the essence of non-reactivity, a powerful teaching found in Buddhism. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we explore how ancient wisdom can change our lives today. In this video, we'll dive deep into why it's essential not to react to everything that happens around us. You'll discover valuable insights and transformative advice that can help you live a more peaceful life. We'll discuss practical tips you can apply in your daily routine to cultivate a calm and centered mindset. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more content to inspire you. As we journey through this video, keep in mind that every moment offers a choice. You can choose to react or to respond with mindfulness. Let's explore how embracing this practice can lead to greater happiness and inner peace. By the end, you'll understand why non-reactivity is not just a concept, but a way to transform your life for the better. Let's get started. Understanding the root of emotional reactions. In our daily lives, we often find ourselves reacting without thinking. Have you noticed how a simple comment can spark anger or sadness? Understanding the root of these emotional reactions is the first step to finding peace. Many of us respond impulsively, driven by our past experiences and conditioned beliefs. But what if we could take a moment to reflect before we react? Our emotions are like waves in the ocean. They rise and fall, sometimes crashing violently and at other times gently lapping at the shore. When we are not aware, we get swept away by these waves. Buddhism teaches us that emotions are natural, but they do not define us. They are temporary states that we can observe without judgment. One key aspect of our emotional reactions comes from our attachment to certain outcomes. We often believe that we must react in a specific way to feel validated or in control. For instance, when a friend cancels plans, you might feel hurt and respond with anger, thinking, "They don't care about me." But this reaction is based on an assumption rather than reality. In truth, they may have their own struggles. Buddhism encourages us to look deeper into our emotions. Instead of labeling them as good or bad, we can see them as information. What is this feeling trying to tell us? When we approach our emotions with curiosity, we can learn more about ourselves and our triggers. This process takes practice, but it's incredibly rewarding. Consider the concept of impermanence. Everything in life is changing, including our emotions. Just like clouds that drift across the sky, our feelings come and go. When we understand this, we realize that no emotion is permanent. The anger we feel in a moment can fade, allowing us to respond with clarity instead of impulse. Another important teaching in Buddhism is the idea of non-attachment. When we cling to our reactions, we create suffering. Imagine you're at a family gathering, and a relative makes an offhand comment about your choices. Instead of reacting defensively, take a breath. Recognize that their opinion does not define your worth. This practice of non-attachment helps us to let go of the need for approval from others. To cultivate a deeper understanding of our reactions, mindfulness is essential. Mindfulness means being present and aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we practice mindfulness, we can pause before reacting. This pause creates space for reflection and allows us to choose how we want to respond. A simple mindfulness exercise involves focusing on your breath. When you feel a strong emotion, take a moment to breathe deeply. Inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for a moment, and then exhale gently through your mouth. With each breath, visualize your emotions as waves that you can observe from the shore. You are not the wave, you are the observer. As we explore our emotional landscape, it's important to remember that everyone has their own struggles. When we react impulsively, we may project our feelings onto others, thinking they share our emotions. But just like us, they are navigating their own experiences. Practicing compassion can help us respond with understanding instead of frustration. Consider this scenario. You're at work, and a colleague seems dismissive of your ideas. Your initial reaction might be to feel angry and defensive. But what if, instead, you approach the situation with curiosity? You could ask, is there something I missed in our conversation? This shift from reaction to inquiry can lead to a more constructive outcome. Another layer to our emotional reactions is the influence of societal expectations. We often feel pressured to react in ways that align with what others expect. For example, in a stressful situation, we might think, I should be calm, or I need to show strength. These beliefs can create inner conflict. By recognizing these expectations, we can liberate ourselves from their grip. Buddhism teaches that our reactions are not our true selves. We are not defined by our emotions. They are simply part of our human experience. When we learn to observe our feelings without attaching meaning to them, we open ourselves to a deeper understanding of who we are. This awareness allows us to respond with wisdom and compassion. As we delve deeper, let's talk about the role of forgiveness. Holding on to anger or resentment only weighs us down. When we react, it often stems from unresolved feelings. Practicing forgiveness, both for ourselves and others, frees us from the chains of our past. It allows us to move forward with an open heart, ready to embrace life as it comes. One of the most profound aspects of Buddhism is the practice of loving kindness, metta. This involves cultivating love and compassion not just for others, but also for ourselves. When we react from a place of love, we can break the cycle of negative emotions. Imagine approaching a frustrating situation with the thought, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be free from suffering. This simple mantra can transform how we respond. Finally, understanding the root of emotional reactions is an ongoing journey. It requires patience, practice, and a willingness to explore our inner world. As we become more aware of our emotions, we learn to navigate them with grace. We can embrace the calm amidst the chaos, choosing our responses thoughtfully. The teachings of Buddhism invite us to explore our emotional responses with curiosity and compassion. By understanding the roots of our reactions, we empower ourselves to respond mindfully, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Remember, the path to non-reactivity is not about suppressing feelings. It's about embracing them with awareness and understanding. The Buddhist concept of mindfulness, observing without judgment. In our busy lives, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of emotions. But what if there's a way to step back and simply observe? This is where the concept of mindfulness comes in, a core teaching in Buddhism. Mindfulness means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It invites us to experience life fully, without getting swept away by our reactions. Imagine you're sitting quietly in a park. You see children playing, hear birds chirping, and feel the gentle breeze on your skin. In this moment, you're fully present. You're not worrying about the past or stressing over the future. This is mindfulness in action. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts and feelings as they come and go, like clouds passing through the sky. You don't cling to them or push them away. You simply notice them. In Buddhism, mindfulness is like a gentle guide. It teaches us to recognize when we're reacting out of habit or emotion. For instance, when someone criticizes you, your first impulse might be anger or defensiveness. But with mindfulness, you can take a moment to breathe and notice that feeling. You might say to yourself, I feel angry, but that doesn't define me. This pause allows you to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Practicing mindfulness can be as simple as focusing on your breath. When you inhale and exhale, pay attention to how your body feels. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. If thoughts come to mind, acknowledge them and gently bring your focus back to your breath. This practice cultivates a sense of calm and clarity, helping you navigate challenges without getting overwhelmed. Mindfulness is not just for meditation. You can bring it into everyday activities. Whether you're eating, walking, or even washing dishes, try to be fully present. Savor each bite of food. Feel the ground beneath your feet, and notice the sensations of water on your hands. This practice transforms mundane tasks into opportunities for awareness. One of the beautiful aspects of mindfulness is that it encourages non-judgmental observation. We often label our experiences as good or bad, but mindfulness invites us to see things as they are, without attaching labels. If you feel anxious, instead of saying, "I shouldn't feel this way," you can say, "I'm feeling anxious right now." This shift in perspective helps create space for acceptance. As you cultivate mindfulness, you'll start to notice how your reactions change. Instead of immediately reacting to stressful situations, you'll find yourself pausing. This pause is powerful. It gives you time to consider your response. You might choose kindness over anger, patience over frustration. This is the essence of living mindfully. Mindfulness also helps us develop compassion for ourselves and others. When we observe our feelings without judgment, we learn to be kinder to ourselves. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling angry or sad, you can embrace those feelings with understanding. This self-compassion spills over into how you treat others. You become more empathetic, recognizing that everyone has struggles. In a world filled with distractions, practicing mindfulness can ground you. It reconnects you with the present moment, helping you appreciate life as it unfolds. You start to notice the beauty in small things: a blooming flower, a warm smile, or a shared laugh. These moments of awareness add richness to your life. Mindfulness is a skill that takes practice. Start with just a few minutes each day. As you build your practice, you may find it easier to stay present throughout the day. Over time, this practice can lead to a profound transformation in how you react to life's challenges. The teachings of Buddhism remind us that suffering often arises from our attachments and aversions. By practicing mindfulness, we can loosen those attachments. We learn that our thoughts and feelings are not permanent. They come and go, just like waves in the ocean. By observing them, we free ourselves from their grip. As you continue to explore mindfulness, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small victories. Each moment of awareness brings you closer to a life of peace and clarity. Embrace the practice and watch how it transforms your reactions and relationships. In conclusion, the concept of mindfulness teaches us the art of observing without judgment. It empowers us to step back from our emotions and respond with intention. As you practice mindfulness, you'll find greater ease in navigating the ups and downs of life. This simple yet profound teaching can lead to a more peaceful and fulfilling existence. The role of meditation in controlling reactions. Meditation is like a secret tool that can help anyone learn to control their reactions. In our busy lives, it's easy to get lost in a whirlwind of emotions. But meditation offers a way to step back and find calmness amid the chaos. When you sit quietly and focus on your breath, you create a space where you can observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice teaches you that feelings are temporary, like clouds passing in the sky. Imagine sitting quietly for just a few minutes each day. You close your eyes and breathe deeply. As you breathe in and out, thoughts may come rushing in. Worries about work, arguments with friends, or stress from daily tasks. Instead of reacting to these thoughts, meditation encourages you to notice them, then gently return your focus to your breath. Over time, this practice helps you develop a sense of awareness. You learn that you are not your thoughts or feelings. You are the observer of them. This awareness is crucial when faced with challenging situations. For example, let's say a friend says something hurtful. Your first instinct might be to snap back in anger. But if you've practiced meditation, you can pause. You recognize that your anger is just a feeling, not a command. You can take a deep breath, reflect on your friend's words, and respond thoughtfully instead. This pause can prevent misunderstandings and build stronger relationships. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is the idea of non-attachment. This means not clinging to our thoughts and feelings as if they define us. Meditation helps with this by creating space between you and your emotions. When you sit in meditation, you practice letting go of judgments. You learn that it's okay to feel angry or sad, but it's also okay to let those feelings drift away. This practice of non-attachment is powerful because it reduces the intensity of your reactions. Regular meditation practice can lead to lasting changes in your life. It strengthens your ability to respond calmly, rather than react impulsively. You become more resilient in the face of stress. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, you can meet challenges with a clear mind and an open heart. Imagine facing a tough day at work or a family disagreement. With meditation, you can approach these situations with a sense of calm and clarity. In addition to improving your emotional responses, meditation has other benefits as well. It can reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance overall well-being. Studies have shown that people who meditate regularly report feeling happier and more balanced. They are better at handling difficult situations and are less likely to react out of frustration or anger. To get started with meditation, you don't need to spend hours sitting in silence. Begin with just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breathing. If your mind starts to wander, that's okay. Simply notice the distraction and gently bring your focus back to your breath. With practice, you'll find it easier to maintain this focus and create that space of awareness. Try to establish a routine. Consistency is key to making meditation a habit. Whether it's in the morning to start your day with clarity or in the evening to unwind, find a time that works for you. Even a short daily practice can make a significant difference over time. As you progress, you may want to explore different meditation techniques. Some people find guided meditations helpful, while others prefer silent meditation. You might try loving kindness meditation, where you send positive thoughts to yourself and others. This can help cultivate compassion and reduce the likelihood of negative reactions. Remember, the goal of meditation is not to eliminate emotions, but to understand them better. It's about learning to navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. As you cultivate this skill, you'll notice a shift in how you respond to challenges. Instead of reacting impulsively, you'll become more thoughtful and intentional in your actions. In conclusion, meditation is a powerful ally in the journey toward non-reactivity. It allows you to observe your thoughts and feelings without getting caught up in them. By creating space for awareness, you can respond to life's challenges with calmness and clarity. This practice not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also enriches your relationships and overall quality of life. Embrace meditation as a daily practice and watch as your ability to control your reactions transforms. The Four Noble Truths and Emotional Freedom. In Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths are like a map guiding us toward emotional freedom. They help us understand our suffering and how to overcome it. Let's break these down in simple terms. The first noble truth is that suffering is a part of life. This doesn't mean that life is only pain, but rather that we all face difficulties. Everyone experiences moments of sadness, frustration, and disappointment. For example, think about a time when you felt rejected or failed at something important. That feeling is universal. Recognizing that suffering exists helps us accept it without judgment. It's okay to feel hurt or sad. It's part of being human. The second noble truth teaches us that suffering often comes from our desires and attachments. We often want things to be a certain way, whether it's wanting approval from others or hoping for a perfect outcome. When we cling too tightly to these desires, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Imagine longing for a job promotion that doesn't happen. That craving can lead to frustration and unhappiness. By acknowledging this truth, we learn to loosen our grip on our desires. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals, but rather that we shouldn't let our happiness depend on them. The third noble truth is that there is a way to end this suffering. This is good news. It means that we have the power to change how we feel and respond to situations. This change doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. The more we practice awareness and let go of unhealthy attachments, the more we can find peace. Think of it like training a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. The fourth noble truth outlines the path to ending suffering, known as the Eightfold Path. This path is a guide to living a balanced and ethical life. It includes right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Each step helps us cultivate awareness and compassion. For instance, practicing right speech means speaking truthfully and kindly. When we communicate with compassion, we reduce misunderstandings and conflicts, which can lead to emotional turmoil. Understanding these truths helps us see the bigger picture. When we face challenges, we can remind ourselves that suffering is temporary. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause and reflect. This reflection allows us to choose a more constructive response. When faced with anger or disappointment, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this situation? Or, how can I respond with kindness? By practicing the Four Noble Truths, we learn that our emotional reactions don't have to control us. we can find freedom in understanding our feelings. We begin to see that emotions are not facts. They're temporary states that come and go. Just like clouds in the sky, they can obscure the sun, but they don't last forever. As we become more aware of our emotions, we can create a space between our feelings and our reactions. This space allows us to observe without judgment. When we notice our emotions, we can choose how to respond. Instead of reacting out of anger, we might choose to respond with understanding or patience. This journey towards emotional freedom takes time and practice. It's not always easy, but every small step counts. Each time you remember the Four Noble Truths during a difficult moment, you're training your mind to respond differently. Over time, this practice can lead to profound changes in your life. Remember, the goal is not to eliminate emotions, but to understand and manage them. Emotions are part of our human experience, and they can guide us if we allow them. By following the path laid out by the Four Noble Truths, we move closer to a life filled with peace and understanding. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed by emotions, pause and reflect on these truths. Ask yourself if your reactions stem from a desire or attachment. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them dictate your actions. With patience and practice, you can navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Embrace the journey of understanding, and you'll find that emotional freedom is within your reach. Detachment, the key to inner peace. Detachment may sound like a strange concept, but it's one of the most important teachings in Buddhism. It's not about cutting off emotions or becoming cold. Rather, it's about learning to let go of our attachment to things, people, and outcomes. When we cling too tightly, we create suffering for ourselves. So, what does it mean to practice detachment, and how can it lead us to a more peaceful life? Imagine holding a balloon. If you grip it too tightly, it might pop. But if you hold it gently, you can enjoy its beauty without fear. This is similar to how we should approach our relationships and desires. When we attach ourselves too strongly to outcomes, like wanting a promotion at work or needing everyone to like us, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes things don't go as we plan. By practicing detachment, we learn to appreciate what we have without fearing loss. Detachment doesn't mean we stop caring. In fact, it allows us to care more deeply without the fear of losing what we love. It helps us enjoy moments as they come, without the pressure of holding on too tightly. Think about how often we worry about the future or dwell on the past. This worry often comes from a place of attachment to specific outcomes. When we practice detachment, we can embrace the present moment without the weight of our expectations. Buddhism teaches that all things are impermanent. This means that nothing lasts forever. Relationships change, situations evolve, and life itself is constantly flowing. By understanding this, we can begin to let go of our need to control everything. Instead of trying to hold on to every moment or every person, we can learn to appreciate them for what they are, temporary gifts that enrich our lives. One effective way to cultivate detachment is through mindfulness meditation. In meditation, we learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice teaches us that thoughts come and go, just like clouds in the sky. We don't have to grasp onto them. We can simply watch them pass. Over time, this skill transfers into our daily lives. When a challenging situation arises, we can remember to pause, observe, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Another important aspect of detachment is recognizing our own identity. Often, we define ourselves by our relationships, jobs, or possessions. When we lose something we identify with, it can feel like we've lost a part of ourselves. Practicing detachment helps us understand that our true self is not defined by external factors. We are whole and complete just as we are. This realization brings a profound sense of freedom. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine a person who works hard for a promotion at their job. They pour their energy into their work, believing that this promotion will bring them happiness and success. However, when the promotion doesn't come, they feel devastated. Their self-worth was tied to that outcome. Now, if this person practices detachment, they can still work hard but recognize that their value is not solely linked to their job title. They can find joy in their work and appreciate the process without being overly attached to the result. Detachment also allows us to foster healthier relationships. When we depend too much on others for our happiness, we create pressure on those relationships. Instead of enjoying time spent with loved ones, we might constantly worry about what they think or how they feel about us. By practicing detachment, we can love others freely, without the fear of losing them or needing them to validate our worth. This leads to deeper, more genuine connections. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to get caught up in desires and distractions. We may want the latest gadget, the perfect job, or even the ideal partner. But chasing these things can lead to an endless cycle of wanting and dissatisfaction. Detachment encourages us to find contentment in what we already have. This doesn't mean we stop pursuing goals. Rather, we approach them with a lighter heart, enjoying the journey rather than fixating on the destination. Lastly, practicing detachment can help us respond to life's challenges with greater resilience. When setbacks occur, instead of feeling overwhelmed, we can take a step back and view the situation with clarity. We realize that life is not always within our control, and that's okay. This perspective allows us to adapt and move forward with grace, instead of getting stuck in negative emotions. Detachment is a journey, not a destination. It takes time and practice to let go of deep-seated attachments and find peace in the flow of life. But as we begin to embrace this practice, we discover a sense of freedom and joy that comes from within. We learn to appreciate the beauty of each moment, no matter how fleeting, and to engage with the world without fear or clinging. In summary, detachment is about finding balance. It's about enjoying life's gifts without the fear of losing them. As we cultivate this practice, we open ourselves to a world of peace, resilience, and genuine connection. Through detachment, we become more present, more compassionate, and ultimately, more at peace with ourselves and the world around us. How to cultivate equanimity in everyday life. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. From stressful work situations to unexpected challenges, our emotions can easily spiral out of control. However, cultivating equanimity, an inner calm that helps us maintain balance regardless of external circumstances, can transform how we experience life. Imagine you're at work and a colleague criticizes your project. The immediate reaction might be to feel defensive or upset, but equanimity teaches us to pause. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can take a deep breath and consider the feedback. Is there a grain of truth in their words? This moment of reflection helps us respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Equanimity is not about being emotionless. It's about acknowledging our feelings without letting them dictate our actions. When we practice equanimity, we learn to see our emotions as passing clouds in the sky, rather than storms that must be fought against. This perspective allows us to respond to life's ups and downs with grace and clarity. One powerful way to cultivate equanimity is through mindfulness meditation. This practice encourages us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. When we sit quietly and focus on our breath, we train our minds to be present. We learn to notice when stress or anger arises, acknowledging those feelings without becoming overwhelmed by them. With regular practice, this awareness helps us develop a steadiness that permeates our daily lives. Another technique is to reframe challenging situations. Instead of viewing a setback as a failure, we can see it as an opportunity for growth. This shift in mindset fosters resilience. For instance, if you miss a deadline, instead of spiraling into self-criticism, ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. How can you improve next time? This approach not only promotes equanimity, but also empowers you to take constructive action. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences can also enhance our ability to maintain equanimity. Spend time with people who uplift you, those who practice mindfulness and encourage calmness. Their energy can help ground you in moments of stress. When faced with difficulties, lean on these supportive relationships to gain perspective and strength. In moments of conflict, remember the power of active listening. When someone disagrees with you, instead of immediately defending your position, listen deeply. Understand their perspective before responding. This practice fosters understanding and minimizes emotional reactions. By cultivating equanimity, we create space for constructive dialogue rather than heated arguments. Nature can also be a powerful ally in finding equanimity. Spending time outdoors, whether it's a walk in the park or a hike in the woods, helps us reconnect with the world around us. The sights, sounds, and smells of nature remind us of the beauty in life, grounding us in the present moment. Observing the calmness of trees swaying in the wind can inspire us to emulate that tranquility in our own lives. Additionally, practicing gratitude can enhance our equanimity. Taking a moment each day to reflect on what we're thankful for shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. This simple practice can change our perspective, making it easier to handle life's challenges with grace. When we face setbacks, it's essential to remember that they are part of the human experience. Instead of resisting negative emotions, allow yourself to feel them. Acknowledge the discomfort, but don't let it consume you. By accepting your feelings, you can process them and let them go. This acceptance is a vital step in cultivating equanimity. Equanimity also requires self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned. Instead of harsh criticism, offer yourself kindness and understanding. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes, and treat yourself as you would a close friend. This nurturing attitude builds resilience and allows you to navigate challenges more calmly. As you practice equanimity, remember that it's a journey, not a destination. There will be days when it feels more challenging than others. Embrace those moments as opportunities to learn and grow. With patience and persistence, you will find your balance, and the practice of equanimity will become a natural part of your life. In conclusion, cultivating equanimity in everyday life is about finding balance amid chaos. It involves mindfulness, reframing challenges, surrounding ourselves with positivity, active listening, connecting with nature, practicing gratitude, and extending self-compassion. By integrating these practices into our daily routines, we can learn to respond to life's ups and downs with a calm heart and clear mind. This journey will not only enhance our well-being, but also enrich our relationships and experiences, allowing us to live more fully in each moment. How to cultivate equanimity in everyday life. Equanimity is a beautiful word that means mental calmness and stability, especially in challenging situations. In Buddhism, it is a fundamental quality that helps us navigate the ups and downs of life without getting tossed around like a leaf in the wind. But how can we cultivate this wonderful quality in our daily lives? To start, it's important to understand that equanimity isn't about being emotionless. It's about maintaining a balanced mind, even when things around us are chaotic. Imagine walking on a tightrope high above the ground. If you start to sway, what do you need to do? You need to find your center, focus, and breathe deeply to keep your balance. This is similar to how we can cultivate equanimity. One way to practice equanimity is through mindfulness. Mindfulness is simply being present in the moment, aware of your thoughts and feelings without judging them. When you notice that you are getting upset or anxious, take a step back. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? This awareness helps you detach from the emotion. Instead of reacting automatically, you give yourself a moment to breathe and choose how to respond. Let's consider a simple example. Suppose you receive an unexpected critique at work. At first, your heart races and you feel defensive. Instead of immediately reacting, take a deep breath. Acknowledge your feelings of hurt or frustration and remind yourself that feedback is part of growth. By pausing, you create space to respond thoughtfully rather than emotionally. Another powerful practice is gratitude. Cultivating a sense of gratitude can shift your focus from what is wrong in your life to what is going well. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you are grateful for. This simple act can help you maintain a positive perspective, even in tough times. When challenges arise, you'll find it easier to stay balanced if you remember the good things around you. Let's not forget the power of acceptance. Life is full of surprises, both good and bad. Acceptance means acknowledging situations as they are, without fighting against them. This doesn't mean you have to like everything that happens. It means you recognize that some things are out of your control. For example, if it rains on the day you planned a picnic, instead of feeling frustrated, accept the rain. Maybe you can have a cozy indoor picnic instead. By accepting reality, you free yourself from unnecessary stress. Practicing compassion is also vital for cultivating equanimity. When we show kindness to others, we foster a sense of connection. This connection can act as an anchor in turbulent times. When someone is rude or dismissive, instead of reacting with anger, try to understand their perspective. Maybe they are having a bad day. When you respond with compassion, you not only help others, but also create a peaceful space for yourself. Visualization is another tool you can use. Picture yourself in a challenging situation where you normally react strongly. Now, imagine yourself responding calmly and with understanding. See yourself taking deep breaths, pausing, and choosing a balanced response. Visualizing this can help train your mind to act that way in real life. It's also essential to surround yourself with positive influences. Spend time with people who embody equanimity and positivity. Their calm energy can inspire you to adopt similar qualities. When you're around those who react mindfully, you begin to internalize those behaviors. You'll notice how they handle stress and challenges with grace, and this can motivate you to do the same. Remember, cultivating equanimity is a journey. It takes time and practice. Start small. Choose one situation each day to apply these techniques. Maybe it's during a difficult conversation, or while handling a busy day at work. Notice how you feel before and after you practice mindfulness, acceptance, or compassion. Each step forward is progress, no matter how small. Finally, keep in mind that equanimity doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging them without letting them take control. Just like clouds passing through the sky, our emotions can come and go. Observe them without attachment. This way, when storms arise, you can remain centered and steady. In summary, cultivating equanimity in everyday life involves practicing mindfulness, gratitude, acceptance, compassion, visualization, and surrounding yourself with positive influences. It's a lifelong journey, but each small step makes a difference. Embrace the process, and you'll find yourself navigating life's challenges with a calm and stable heart. By doing so, you not only transform your own experience, but also create a ripple effect of peace and positivity in the world around you, breaking the cycle of negative thoughts and reactions. In life, negative thoughts can feel like a heavy chain, dragging us down and making it hard to breathe. We often don't realize how much these thoughts influence our reactions. When something goes wrong, our minds may jump to worst-case scenarios, amplifying our stress and anxiety. It's a cycle that feels impossible to break. But what if there was a way to pause, observe, and shift our thinking? Imagine waking up to a beautiful day, only to find yourself trapped in a loop of worries about work, relationships, or the future. Each worry feeds another, creating a storm in your mind. This is where the practice of mindfulness comes in. By simply noticing your thoughts without judgment, you can start to create space between you and your worries. Buddhism teaches us that thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They come and go. Some days, the sky is clear, while other days, clouds may cover it. But remember, the sky is always there, just like your true self. By recognizing that your thoughts are not who you are, you can start to observe them instead of getting swept away. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is this thought helpful? If it's not, let it drift away. You can visualize it as a leaf floating down a stream. As the leaf moves away, so do your worries. This simple practice can help you break the cycle. Over time, you'll notice that you're not reacting to every little thought that crosses your mind. It's also important to understand that feelings of anger, sadness, or frustration are normal. They are part of being human. The key is not to suppress these emotions, but to acknowledge them. You can say to yourself, I feel angry right now, and that's okay. By giving your emotions space, you allow them to pass naturally, without taking control of your reactions. Another powerful tool is deep breathing. When you feel the tension rising, take a moment to breathe deeply. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting your belly expand, and then exhale gently through your mouth. This simple act can calm your nervous system and create a sense of peace. It's like hitting the reset button on your mind. As you practice these techniques, you'll begin to notice a shift in your daily life. You'll respond to challenges with more clarity and less emotional turmoil. The cycle of negative thoughts will weaken, and you'll find yourself feeling lighter and more at ease. Let's talk about the role of gratitude in breaking this cycle. When we focus on what we're thankful for, we shift our attention away from negativity. Each day, try to list 3 things you appreciate. They can be small, like a warm cup of tea or a friendly smile. By fostering a sense of gratitude, you create a positive environment for your mind to thrive. Remember, it's a journey. There will be days when negative thoughts feel overwhelming, and that's perfectly okay. Be gentle with yourself. Recognize that progress takes time, and celebrate the small victories along the way. As you continue this practice, you'll develop resilience. Life will throw challenges your way, but instead of being swept away by negative reactions, you'll find yourself grounded. You'll start to see problems as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. To summarize, breaking the cycle of negative thoughts and reactions is about awareness, acceptance, and action. By observing your thoughts without judgment, acknowledging your feelings, practicing deep breathing, and fostering gratitude, you can create a positive shift in your life. The path may be challenging, but each step brings you closer to a calmer, more balanced self. Embrace the journey and trust in your ability to change. Applying the teachings of the Eightfold Path to emotional control. In the journey toward mastering our reactions, we can find profound guidance in the Eightfold Path of Buddhism. This path offers practical steps to cultivate a peaceful mind and respond wisely to life's challenges. Let's explore how each aspect of the Eightfold Path can help us gain better control over our emotions. Right understanding is the first step. It means seeing things as they truly are, without distortion. When we react impulsively, it often stems from misunderstanding the situation. By taking a moment to reflect and gain clarity, we can respond more thoughtfully. For example, if a friend seems distant, instead of jumping to conclusions about their feelings, we can consider that they might be going through something personal. This understanding helps us avoid unnecessary conflicts. Next, we have right intention, which involves setting our motivations. When we approach situations with positive intentions, we're less likely to react negatively. If someone criticizes us, instead of retaliating, we can remind ourselves of our desire to grow and learn. This shift in mindset encourages compassion instead of defensiveness. Right speech is crucial in our interactions. It teaches us to speak truthfully and kindly. When we feel provoked, our words can easily turn harsh. But when we practice right speech, we pause before responding. We choose words that uplift rather than hurt, fostering better communication and understanding. Then comes right action, which emphasizes ethical behavior. Our actions are often driven by our emotions. When we commit to acting ethically, even in tough situations, we train ourselves to respond instead of react. For example, if faced with anger, instead of lashing out, we can choose actions that promote peace, like taking a walk or practicing deep breathing. Right livelihood encourages us to engage in work that aligns with our values. When our daily activities resonate with our beliefs, we experience less internal conflict. This alignment helps reduce stress, making it easier to manage our emotions. Imagine working in an environment that promotes kindness and understanding, such as setting supports a calmer mind. Next, we have right effort, which involves cultivating positive states of mind while letting go of negative ones. This effort requires practice. When we notice ourselves slipping into old reaction patterns, we can gently redirect our thoughts. Instead of dwelling on anger or frustration, we can choose gratitude or acceptance. This shift takes time but leads to profound changes in how we handle challenges. Right mindfulness teaches us to be fully present. When we practice mindfulness, we become aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This awareness helps us recognize when we're about to react impulsively. By observing our emotions, we create space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose a more considered reaction. Finally, we have right concentration, which involves focused meditation. This practice strengthens our minds, helping us remain calm and composed even in difficult situations. Regular meditation trains us to respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Imagine sitting quietly for just a few minutes each day, focusing on your breath. Over time, this simple practice can make a significant difference in how you handle life's ups and downs. By applying the teachings of the Eightfold Path, we equip ourselves with tools to navigate our emotional landscape. Each step offers practical advice that can transform our daily lives. Instead of being at the mercy of our emotions, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and resilience. As we begin to practice these teachings, we might still face challenges. There will be moments when emotions surge, and it feels difficult to maintain control. This is part of being human. The key is to remember that it's okay to stumble. What matters is our commitment to practice. With time and dedication, we can become more adept at responding with wisdom and compassion. In conclusion, the Eightfold Path serves as a powerful guide for developing emotional control. It teaches us to understand our reactions, set positive intentions, and communicate with kindness. By incorporating these principles into our daily lives, we create a foundation for a more peaceful existence. So let's embrace this journey together, knowing that with each step, we are moving closer to a life of mindfulness and harmony. The benefits of non-reactivity in relationships and communication. In life, we often find ourselves interacting with others. Whether it's family, friends, or even strangers, our relationships can be a source of joy or frustration. One of the most powerful tools for improving these connections is non-reactivity. When we learn to pause before responding, we open the door to deeper understanding and harmony. Imagine having a conversation with a friend who is upset. They might be venting about their day, and it's easy to feel the urge to react immediately. Perhaps you want to defend yourself, share your own problems, or even dismiss their feelings. But what if, instead, you listen fully without jumping in with your own reactions? This simple act of patience can create a safe space for your friend to express themselves. When they feel heard, the connection between you deepens. Non-reactivity allows us to respond to others with compassion. Instead of viewing their feelings as a personal attack or annoyance, we can see them as a part of their journey. This shift in perspective can transform conflicts into opportunities for growth. When we approach each interaction with an open heart and mind, we foster an environment where understanding thrives. In relationships, we often carry emotional baggage. Past experiences can cloud our judgment and influence how we respond to others. For example, if someone raises their voice, we might feel threatened and react defensively. But if we practice non-reactivity, we can take a moment to breathe and assess the situation calmly. This pause helps us separate our past from the present moment, allowing for a more thoughtful response. Effective communication is another key benefit of non-reactivity. When we react impulsively, our words can be sharp and hurtful. This can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. However, when we practice being present and aware, we choose our words carefully. We can express our thoughts and feelings without causing unnecessary harm. This leads to healthier, more meaningful conversations. Moreover, non-reactivity promotes emotional stability. In our fast-paced lives, it's easy to become overwhelmed by stress and anxiety. But by not reacting to every little thing, we cultivate a sense of calm. This inner peace reflects in our interactions. People around us will notice the difference. They'll feel more at ease in our presence. This creates a positive cycle where others respond to our calmness with their own. Think about a time when you faced conflict in a relationship. How did you react? Did you engage in a heated argument, or did you take a step back and choose your words wisely? When we respond mindfully, we show respect for both ourselves and the other person. We acknowledge that everyone has their struggles, and that compassion goes a long way. Another benefit of non-reactivity is that it encourages empathy. When we pause and observe our feelings, we can better understand others. Instead of jumping to conclusions, we learn to ask questions. What are they really feeling? What might be going on in their life? This curiosity opens the door to deeper connections. It allows us to support others in a way that is genuine and meaningful. In situations where tension is high, non-reactivity can serve as a powerful tool for conflict resolution. Instead of escalating the situation, we can be the calming presence. When others see that we are grounded and not easily shaken, they are more likely to follow our lead. This can diffuse anger and create space for constructive dialogue. The practice of non-reactivity also fosters forgiveness. Holding on to grudges only harms ourselves. When we learn to let go of our immediate reactions, we create space for understanding. We can forgive others and ourselves more easily. This act of letting go is freeing, allowing us to move forward without the weight of past grievances. Non-reactivity isn't just about the big moments. It's also beneficial in everyday interactions. Think about your daily life. How often do you find yourself reacting to minor annoyances? Maybe it's someone cutting in line or a coworker interrupting you. By taking a breath and choosing not to react, you maintain your peace. This simple practice can transform a frustrating day into a more manageable one. Over time, the benefits of non-reactivity become evident. our relationships become stronger, our communication improves, and we experience greater emotional balance. This practice encourages us to be more present, not just for ourselves, but for those around us. In conclusion, non-reactivity is a profound practice that enhances our relationships and communication. By choosing to respond thoughtfully, we cultivate deeper connections and foster understanding. This journey toward mindful interactions takes practice, but the rewards are immeasurable. As we embrace non-reactivity, we create a more compassionate world, one conversation at a time. Each step we take towards this practice enriches our lives and the lives of those we touch. Conclusion: transforming your life through mindful reactions. As we reach the end of our journey, let's reflect on the power of non-reactivity and how it can transform our lives. Imagine standing at the edge of a serene lake. The water is calm and clear, reflecting the sky above. This is how our minds can be when we practice mindfulness. When we choose not to react impulsively, we create a space for clarity and peace. Throughout this video, we explored how reacting to situations often leads to more suffering. In contrast, by practicing non-reactivity, we allow ourselves to pause, observe, and respond thoughtfully. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and practice, it can become a part of our everyday lives. Think about the last time you faced a challenging situation. Did you respond with anger, frustration, or anxiety? It's normal to feel these emotions. They are part of being human. However, recognizing that you have a choice in how to respond is the first step toward emotional freedom. When you feel the urge to react, take a moment to breathe. This simple act can help you step back and gain perspective. Buddhism teaches us that our thoughts and feelings are not permanent. They come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. When we understand this, we realize that we don't have to let our emotions dictate our actions. Instead, we can observe them without judgment. By doing so, we cultivate a sense of detachment that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. Another essential aspect of non-reactivity is compassion. When someone acts in a way that triggers us, it often stems from their own pain or suffering. By acknowledging this, we can respond with empathy rather than anger. Imagine a friend who seems distant or unkind. Instead of reacting negatively, consider what they might be going through. This shift in perspective can lead to a more constructive conversation and a deeper understanding. Incorporating mindfulness into our daily routines can also help us manage our reactions. Set aside a few minutes each day to practice meditation or simply sit in silence. Focus on your breath and observe your thoughts without getting attached to them. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain calm in the face of adversity. You'll find that situations that once provoked a strong reaction may no longer hold the same power over you. Additionally, remember the teachings of the Eightfold Path. Right understanding, right intention, right speech, and right action can guide us in making mindful choices. When we align our actions with these principles, we create a life filled with purpose and intention. This alignment brings about a sense of harmony, making it easier to respond to challenges with wisdom and kindness. Embracing non-reactivity also means letting go of the need for control. Life is unpredictable, and trying to control every outcome can lead to frustration and disappointment. Instead, practice acceptance. Understand that not everything will go as planned, and that's okay. By surrendering the need to control, you open yourself up to new possibilities and experiences. As you move forward, challenge yourself to practice non-reactivity in small, everyday situations. Start with something simple, like waiting in line or dealing with a minor inconvenience. Notice your initial reaction and then take a moment to breathe. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Often, you'll find that the answer is no. With practice, these small moments can build a foundation for larger challenges. Non-reactivity is a journey, not a destination. It requires ongoing practice and commitment. Surround yourself with supportive people who share your desire for growth. Engage in conversations about mindfulness and non-reactivity, and encourage one another to stay on this path. Sharing experiences can reinforce your understanding and commitment to this transformative practice. In conclusion, the teachings of Buddhism offer us profound insights into the nature of our thoughts and emotions. By embracing non-reactivity, we can transform our lives in meaningful ways. We become more resilient, more compassionate, and ultimately, more at peace. Remember, every moment presents an opportunity to choose how we respond. Let's commit to being mindful in our reactions, creating a ripple effect of positivity in our lives, in the lives of others. As you step back into the world, carry this wisdom with you. Practice mindfulness in every interaction, and watch as your life begins to change. You have the power to shape your reality through the choices you make. Let's move forward with intention, awareness, and an open heart. Thank you for joining this journey toward a more mindful existence.